Advantage Sydney FC in the quarterfinals of the Asian Champions League 2. It is a historic victory for them away to Jeonbuk in South Korea. 2-0 goals courtesy of Patrick Klamala, who was fantastic in this game. Took those two opportunities. Two fantastic goals, man. This guy has proven to be a fantastic signing for Sydney FC, and those two goals could go a long way to helping Sydney FC secure a place in the final four of this competition. We'd love to hear from you guys whether you think Sydney FC, can go all the way and not just to the semi-finals, but like, how do you rate their chances of going on and actually winning this competition? Obviously, this was, formerly the AFC Cup, now Asian Champions League 2. This is the competition that Central Coast Mariners did win last year. Could we see A-League sides win this competition 2 years back to back? So, heading into this game, obviously Sydney FC, it's been a busy schedule for them in the last couple of months, juggling A-League games and, of course, Asian Champions League 2. But a very strong lineup once again in this game. Of course, that back line of King, Grant, the two Grants, Ryan Grant, Alex Grant, Courtney Perkins in there as well. Harrison Devonish playing in goals. It feels like that's sort of the defensive setup for Sydney FC at the moment. Obviously, Alex Popovich still out with injury at the moment as well. Kamijo starting once again, who, again, in the last few weeks has put in some really solid performances. And I think it's helped the side out a lot, having sort of another defensive-minded midfielder like Kamijo to play alongside Senna to, allow the likes of Costa, Lolly and Caceres sort of the license to really roam forward. And Patrick Klamala leading the line, who was just obviously player of the match with those two goals and two fantastic strikes. I mean, the impact that he has had in Sydney FC this season has been really positive. And, he hasn't necessarily, he's not obviously not leading the Golden Boot race in the A-League, but he's scored some some huge goals for Sydney FC this season. Scored, last weekend in the A-League against MacArthur FC. And now these two goals here for Sydney FC. I mean, this is what it's about when it comes to these these crunch games and these competitions. You need your big players to step up, and especially a striker like Patrick Lamala, who didn't have too many opportunities in this game. It's not like Sydney FC dominated this game. They did not do that at all. I mean, look, they were good defensively, very, very solid, but as we look at the stats, they managed 15 shots, 7 on target, 11 shots for the home team, but 60% possession for Jeonbuk in the end, who did spend a lot of time pinning Sydney FC back. Yeah, Klamala, I mean, it wasn't like he was having all that many opportunities, but when he got those chances, he took them, and that was sort of the thing that separated the two sides in the end, because Jeonbuk, again, 11 shots in the end, but just 2 on target. They were a bit poor when it came to, finding the target in the end. Devonish was called into action a couple times, made a couple good saves down to his left, and I think probably had one of his better games for Sydney FC. And it's a huge advantage for them now, too, because they now head into the second leg in Sydney next week with a massive advantage. I mean, obviously they're going to be huge favourites now to get through to the semi-finals with that 2-goal lead and playing at home. But still, just because they're the home team doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to cruise through. We have seen Sydney FC have shown a little bit of frailty, especially in home games this season. Even their last home game in this competition, that first leg match against Bangkok United, they had 2 goals, but the match ended 2-2 in the end. So, look, Jeonbuk are a quality opposition and are really going to come back, and I'm sure would have learnt a lot from that first matchup. And they're going to be backing themselves to really push and chase Sydney FC in this matchup. So I don't think it's a matter of Sky Blues I don't think there's a case for them to, rotate things around to, play some younger players. They can't, just rest on this 2-goal advantage. They have to go into that second leg, looking to score early to, make that margin even larger. And then they will indeed progress through to the semi-finals, where they will probably, again, come up against Sanfrecce Hiroshima, which is its own test, because we know Sydney FC played Sanfrecce Hiroshima twice in the group stage of the competition and lost both matches, home and away. So, Sydney FC, have they progressed since then? Have they developed? Have they improved? And will they be able to defeat the Japanese opposition if they do indeed go through to face them? Sanfrecce Hiroshima currently have a pretty strong advantage in their 2-leg tie over Lion City Sailors as well. And then potentially through to the final. Again, I think it'd be awesome just as for, if you're an Australian football fan, it would be great to see. I'm a Mariners fan and I would never support Sydney FC being a rival team, but there is something really cool about the idea of, two A-League teams, two Aussie teams, winning this competition in 2 consecutive years back to back. And hopefully we can see A-League teams have more success in the Asian Champions League Elite going forward as well. Of course, Central Coast Mariners unfortunately crashed out of the tournament, not able to pick up a win this season in that competition. But Sydney FC flying the flag for Australia in Asia right now. Strong lead in the quarterfinals. We're going to keep a close eye on the second leg coming up in Sydney next week. It is not done, but it is a great advantage for Sydney FC. Patrick Lamala, fantastic in this match for the Sky Blues. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. Do you think Sydney FC will cruise through to the semi-finals? Will it be a trickier task? And can they go all the way? Can they get past San Francisco Hiroshima, potentially in the semi-finals, get all the way to the final? It's a huge, huge time coming up for Sydney FC over the next few months. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. Make sure to hit the like button and stay subscribed for more Oz football talk right here on the channel. My name's Lockie, and I'll see you in the next one.